most certainly can compete. So really excited to see how this plays out. Ultimately, again, this is a best out of 5 going to be coming at you. What is a 1-0 lead for Zinc as a result of coming from the winner's bracket. So that's how things shape up. That's where things stand. And now we're going to be excited. Looking forward, of course. So with that said, we're already in the second tier of bands, so plenty to talk about. But, of course, joined by Mini Maggot once again as my co-caster. You feeling good?
Yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, it all comes down to this in the end. Obviously, the grand finals, 2 best teams in Hon right now going head-to-head. I'm just looking forward to it, man. Like, obviously, we had the winners bracket final yesterday, and now it's the grand finals. Obviously, Tree fought through the lowest bracket, just beat BMG before, and now taking on the big dogs of Zinc. And, I mean, I just can't wait for it to start.
That it kind of has in a sense. Obviously, the draft is here, and yeah, Willowkeeper taking some momentum with them, no doubt. And they lost the first game, remember, against BMG, and ended up winning the next 2 to get to this point. So here they are, and it's no doubt that they're hungry too. They've been, I'm sure they've been hearing a lot of the talk, a lot of the, well, they're the second best team. They're almost there, but they're not there yet, and who knows if they'll ever get there. A lot of that going on, I'm sure. It's not fun to constantly hear, so taking that motivation kind of with them. Now, enough of this rambling on, though. We got stuff to talk about here, including a very interesting pick over at Willowkeeper. They pick up the Soul Stealer here with their third and final pick on top of the Magma's Glacius. What is your take on that?
Yeah, so obviously, in the last game, Zinc have already had quite an interesting and quite familiar lineup, actually, from the last series they played against Tree. They'd already got the Pebbles, they've got the Ophelia, and they've got the Rhapsody. Yeah. Obviously, in game 1, Tree were looking very, very strong. They were sort of 7,000 gold lead up. The one thing they didn't really have, though, was the counter push. They had Master of Arms, okay, not too bad, but you need like a bit more counter push, and Solstice is exactly what that offers. Obviously, got 3 different demon hands. If he lands all of them, that's 900 magic damage. True. For that kind of counter push, I mean, Zinc, they're almost banging their heads against the walls if they just want to keep on throwing more and more minions. Obviously, they've got Ophelia. They're actually right-clicking Keeper here as well. All those minions are going to get absolutely destroyed here by Soul Stealer if Zinc are not careful. So they do follow up with the Puppet Master. That's going to be in their short lane. There still is a potential to pick up the Keeper of the Forest, but I really do like the Soul Stealer. The one issue, obviously, that might could happen is if Zinc do decide to man up against it. If they run like an aggressive pseudo tri-lane with the Ophelia, Rhapsody, and Puppet Master, maybe with the Pebbles instead of the Puppet Master, then they might be in trouble. Obviously, they've got Glacius and Magmus, most likely the 2 secondary supports, unless they want to run Magmus in the main sort of support as initiator. And I mean, Soul Stealer, the biggest issue that we all know about Soul Stealer is this early laning phase. Obviously, easily to get ganked, and if Zinc do decide to run a pseudo aggressive tri lane, he might be sort of caught out in that respect. We'll have to see. Box is actually right-clicking the Devourer there. Also, we saw Devourer picked up in the last series. It did actually quite well. Boxy played it very, very well. High GPM, got some big hook costs, but in the end, it didn't really take off in that respect. They actually dual laned it in the last series. We might see a similar sort of situation here as well. And it can work. Obviously, we talked about with Tree's sort of lineup, but they like to run the 4-1 strategy that Sonia was talking about. So we'll have to see their follow-up here. I mean, obviously, Puppet Master was picked up, I think, as well. So
there we go. Soul Stealer, though, yeah. What?
Yeah, man. And this is what I was saying. Like, I mean, I was actually talking to Insania like off the cast as well, and he said the main reason why Tree sort of failed to really have an impact in the 1-game series they had against them was that they didn't really have enough or sufficient counter push. Soul Stealer and Midas, this is a far than enough counter push, and now Zinc. I mean, they were definitely thinking about picking up the Keeper of the Forest, but now they might actually sort of try and change up their draft and maybe go for a Drunken Master, which Mickey is actually right-clicking here. Midas, a great hero. Normally, whenever I see Tree play it, they actually play it solo mid, but there is the Drunken Master. So less about push, maybe sort of backing off with a bit of late game. Obviously, they've got Drunken Master and Puppet Master here as well. So yeah, just talking back to Midas though, Tree, I have seen him pick him up actually a lot. They used to play it a lot back when I was still on the scene with Instant Reflex, so they play it solo mid, and the hero is very, very strong, particularly in the 1v2 matchups. Has a good escape mechanism, can easily farm, obviously, with the Golden Salvo. An overall good pick, but we'll have to see how it works in this game.
I mean, this is a hero. He's had his stint on the scene as far as being God tier, and this was a very, very highly picked hero. It was one of the Dream Hacks, I forget which one specifically, but he was the hero of one of those dream hacks earlier on, and he got hit pretty hard. He got a lot of nerfs, and ultimately just was never really seen again. So, but yeah, his potential's there. Of course, he got the Revenant effect, or I guess vice versa. Revenant got the Midas effect. Anyways, that meaning the ultimate now at level 4. 4, 8, 12. makes it kind of very interesting. Getting that transmute earlier on definitely gives it more potential to be of use for those possible ganks and whatnot. But yeah, the counter push is there. You almost wonder if they're almost overcompensating for counter push though. And you know, what the?
What is?
Come on!
This is true, man. This is what they do. They're just YOLO.
Oh my god! I mean,
they're in.
Part of me is like, I mean, obviously a lot of me is like, holy crap! I am extra excited now. Already was excited in this series, and here we are with freaking. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you pick up Midas. I have a lot to say about Midas and kind of bit logic here, but then they just go Lord South Forest. I mean, what the hell? Lord South Forest, yet another new hero we have not seen. We do not have on record, as Quincy's pointing out, in over 237 games, Lord South Forest has never actually been played. And, you know, I know I say this a lot, maybe, but. I do feel like Lord South Forest is somewhat underrated in sense of what he can bring to the table. I've always been a fan of this hero. This is now one of these heroes that I do prefer to, you know, play perhaps every now and then. And I've always thought he has a great laning presence with that aura of his, a Dark Lord's presence. You know, the Morts Ceratisa, are they doing Kongor?
Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off, but
is
this going to be? Oh my, it's going to be it.
Oh
my god, no.
Gosh.
So there's 3 random heroes, and now it's going to be a Conqueror as well. Oh my god, Reiki. And Zinc, they have no idea. They're all 5 down here. They've actually rotated the courier, but they do not expect it. I mean, I wouldn't expect it either. I mean, this is not a team that does. Yeah. This is not a Congo. This is not a level 1 Congo. They don't have Pharaoh. It's not like they have Playground or anything like that. But look at Tree. They've definitely actually, you know, they've actually practiced it. They've done this in scrims because look at the way they're actually sort of splitting the tank off. They're splitting the tank off with actually Lord South Forest and Magmus. No, it's fine. They've actually worked this out. So they've got the Midas heal as well coming out from the Lion's Pride, and they're going to do it. Zinc have no idea. They all rotated down bottom to maybe try and get an early pick off. But this is actually going to be a Kongor kill. Lost Forest has picked up a health potion, and they're just tanking it between Magmus and Lord South Forest. Completely perfect execution here from Tree, and this is going to be so big actually now.
Look at Ophelia. She's poking in. They know now. They know something's up. There we go. It's too late though. Perfect timing on that Kongor kill. If it was 5 seconds later, I mean, could have been possibly been a disaster right there for Willowkeeper. But well. So what you're pointing out there, I love this mainly because they've practiced this. This isn't just completely off the wall. They're not picking Midas, Lord South Forest, and Soulstealer just because they feel like it randomly this game. They practiced this. They theory craft it maybe. I mean, they had this idea. And they just executed it right there in what is game number 1 of the grand finals. Again, they're down 1-0, and they're trying to make a point. They want to reset the series in a sense, make it just a straight-up best-of-3 here. So, you know, we've talked. It's rare we see it, but when the times we do see it, it's actually Lord South Forest. He's going to take some pressure down here at the bottom lane. He is in trouble. Now, he has the token, remember. Okay, it's going to be used right there right away. So, I guess the token not necessarily doing the most in the end, but honestly, it's not even the token that's really the biggest deal. It's more so the levels.
Yeah. Look at the golden experience, and obviously not to state the obvious, that Congo Hill was so big because, okay, Zinc, they didn't obviously pick up Keeper of the Forest, they did pick up Drunken Master instead of that, but still, there's still a heavy push and there's still a heavy sort of team fight makeup here for Zinc. And a big way to actually counter that is actually get the early lead, and what better way to get an early lead than the Congo kill that they just had. Obviously, you know, Boxy does get level 2, he did have the token, but obviously at the same time, they did actually lose lane control to get that kill, and now Boxy, not the best suicide hero actually for Lord South Forest, so to have him get this lane control, give him that free experience, is actually a big deal. So, I mean, already Tree are looking very strong. However, obviously Zinc, they're a great team to state the obvious as well, and they know exactly how to overcome this in that respect. But still, Tree very far ahead, extremely good against the sort of strategy in the draft that Zinc do have here. And it's going to really be on Mickey's shoulders for the first couple of sort of maybe first 10 minutes, first 15 minutes to really get the action happening here. We're going to see obviously a Pebbles Rhapsody in the bottom lane. We're going to try and secure the early farm on Mickey, and then from there sort of snowball with some early kills. So there's 2 things that could happen. Either they're going to maybe try and rotate a few heroes in the bottom lane to try and shut down this Pebbles, or when Pebbles does get his portal key, that Tree are going to have some kind of countermeasures to actually sort of stop the snowballing potential here of Pebbles.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still kind of just so caught up on what we're seeing here. Level 1 Conqueror and the heroes as well. And, the lanes, again, kind of looking at it as I love seeing this Glacius Soulstealer lane. And I say that because, Soulstealer's definitely had to sit in the competitive scene. It's been a long time since it's been actually go to, but oh, nice upgrade of the courier right there. Midas was trying to steal the courier, more so kill it, but they actually upgraded at the last second. Now, I don't know if Puppet Master upgraded it. That's actually a pretty big deal. I think he might have.
Yeah, he's only got... Yeah, like Rapsy actually had... Yeah, it must have been, because Rapsy still's got 200 gold at the moment. And I mean, it's definitely worth it, though. Obviously, 200 gold less on Puppet Master, but obviously losing a courier is a lot bigger deal. But at the same time, obviously, he is playing mid, and he's already got quite a low GPM, so that 200 gold is actually a big deal.
Yeah.
Bottom lane, South Forest is getting a little bit dived actually here from Pebbles. They actually have the toss as well. Affiliate is coming over.
Yeah, he's got the life tap to heal up. This is what helps make him a pretty solid laner, but is it going to be enough? No, you see the heal's not really that much in the end. Health potion, the mitigation, not enough. Versus not even on top. Everything being used. The triple taunt on a Boxy right there, and he does go down. So, Lord South, he is kind of a funky suicide hero. I mean, when it comes to tanking, he can definitely do that pretty effectively. He's up there with the best of them, but when it comes to escaping, not as much.
Yeah.
And that kind of shows right there. So Sync taking advantage, basically, of the suicide South Forest with their play.
And actually, the biggest kill, or the biggest reason for that kill actually is because actually Insania did actually pull and get the lane control back. I talked about after the initial kill onto Lord South Forest before obviously he had the token, is that they lost lane control after they killed the token on Lord South Forest. But Insania did get the lane control back, and as a result, obviously Lord South Forest is going to have a very hard time laning here. He does actually have a ward, but honestly, it's not enough because once the rotation and the sort of stuns come out from Pebbles and Rhapsody, Affiliate's already going to be next to Lord South Forest, so he's going to have a very hard time here in the bottom lane to actually it's already lane down here.
Yeah.
Talking about the other lanes though, it's got Minus versus Puppet Master, and we talked about Puppet Master didn't have the greatest of farm at the start. I think Minus does actually win that 1v1 matchup normally, but obviously he had the Conga advantage as well, so even harder to for Lensmeister to win this matchup.
Yeah, so we were saying that. I was kind of getting caught up with Lord South Forest as well. But actually, speaking of Lord South Forest, he is in trouble once again. But here comes that supporting cast. Magnus stuns in. Down goes Rhapsody. And now Pebbles all of a sudden, he's in trouble. Glacius and Magnus doing a great job of TPing in and trying to get a response. Life tap comes out. You see the chase. And it's a double tap for Boxy, the double taunt tap. I love that, man, right there. And Boxy gets big revenge. I was just about to say, I mean, yes, it's struggling out there, but the other solo lanes doing pretty damn well. But now, especially with that,
yep, that's such a big kill.
Huge, because he's level 5 now, he's close to level 6, I'm sure. And again, the Undying, as it's called, going to be a powerful tool throughout this game. And that's something else to kind of talk about with Lord South Forest, maybe another reason why they perhaps picked it up amongst many. It's powerful against heal-style heroes. There's not spam heal heroes maybe on this Legion side, but you got Rhapsody with the Disco Inferno. You got the Ophelia's Touch. It's going to be mitigated by that ultimate, actually. And Astrolabe, that's a very good point, yeah.
Middle lane,
Minus middle lane. He is being locked down right here. Will it be enough? It looks like it. He does not have kudos. Yes, he does. He just had enough mana for the Elemental Warp, and he barely gets away right there. So the gank attempt unsuccessful. Ophelia was even low. You see Glacius trying to get in there, but not going to happen.
But yeah, going back to the initial gank, though, that's exactly what I said they needed to do. Cause, I mean, Pebbles is going to be the key hero here for Zinc, especially in the early levels. And that rotation gank is so big. Not only it gives an early kill on Pebbles, actually, Magnus is going to survive in the end. And yeah, not only does it slow down the farm on Pebbles, this gives lane control and lane sort of dominance here for Boxy. Look at how defensive Mickey is playing. I mean, we talked about how strong a laner actually Lord South Forest is, and it's showing. Pebbles actually has to back off. He is going to try and maybe get a combo here on Glacius, but no, he's going to sort of stay back. They're kind of tri-lane down here, and I actually do like the rotation. They got the early farm on Magnus because of the the jungling factor, and now Mickey, they're shutting him down, and he's a key hero and a key signature hero for Zinc, and he is obviously the early initiator. There is actually a potential setup stun here or setup gank from Ophelia, but I don't think it's going to be enough though.
I like how this is kind of turned into a try versus trial lane, really. Pseudo trial lane for the Legion team, but yeah, Glacius and Magnus still hanging around. Magnus even level 6, so he's got that eruption if he gets the opportunity. So yeah, the Legion side needs to be careful not to overcommit right here, and you can tell they want to make something happen, but they're going to fall back because they just can't. I mean, I think that's where Sync is doing a pretty good job. They, especially giving up a level 1 Conquer kill, the last thing you want to do is let them take that lead and just constantly get even further ahead. Before you know it, you're just getting rolled over because the levels are too much and everything. They made a point from the very beginning. I mean, we saw that at the bottom lane. In came slapped with Ophelia, set up the kill onto Lord South Forest. Granted, it was a token, a live kill, but still, they made the kill happen. They got another one to follow, and they were playing this very active. But as time has gone on, obviously that turnaround double tap kill playing a big role there. Now you're seeing kind of a spot for Sync where they want to continue to play aggressive. We even saw the middle kill attempt, unsuccessful though. but it's difficult. It's a lot easier said than done because of how things are playing out here. You got a Soul Stealer in the meantime during all of this, now 410 gold per minute. And this is a hero. We talked about him all the time. We talked about him, and we'll bring it up here again. I mean, in terms of recovery farm, he's one of the best, if not the best hero at doing so with those Demon Hands. When he has a lead, he will snowball with it into that mid-game stage. So he actually gets a life tube here, and I assume that's going to turn into a Null Stone. Honestly, not your usual Soul Stealer pickup.
Obviously not a normal social pickup, but at the same time, look at who he's facing, sorry. He's playing against a Drunken Master where that lunge is going to be a very, very key sort of spell to actually lock him down if he gets a Shrunken Head. And secondly, obviously, he's playing against a Puppet Master. I mean, Nullstone definitely actually really does sort of nullify Puppet Master because he initially obviously will start with the Puppet Show, but with that being sort of taken off, I mean, the reactions of Battlezard is going to be quick enough if he picks up a Portal Key later on. And talking of Soul Stealer, he might be in trouble here from Rhapsody Gank.
Yeah, they're going to go on him up here, dropping a half-life. He doesn't have his ultimate, so even if you want to maybe use it right there, not going to matter, but still locked down not long enough, and actually, you see Midas flying in with the haster, so a good thing that Zinc's not overcommitting. Because if they did, they definitely would be dead. In fact, Insanity, he still might be dove. Nope, he's going to be fine. Midas is thinking about it. But not going to happen in the end. Again, he has a transmute, obviously. Level 4 Golden Salvo is what he's choosing to max out here for damage potential. I'm looking across the board. Yeah, that is the max damage potential. But in the end, Insanity avoids it, and it's going to be fine. But the big picture, though, again, you see Soul Stealer now. He doesn't actually have a Null Stone just, so that's just the pattern. He still, of course, needs the Blessed Aura, but setting up for when he has enough gold. Can't just go to the outpost to get that. So, yeah, it makes sense, possibly. That's why he's getting that Null Stone. But yeah, Midas doing the roam, unsuccessful, comes back middle. This is another kind of cool thing about Midas, you know, despite being ranged, obviously very similar to Flux, he is strength, and you do see him kind of taking advantage of that. He has the Crushing Claw, he actually already built a Bracer. I wouldn't be surprised to see that turn into an Astrolabe, of course. I mean, he's already looking at 1,000 life, in fact, now even more, with this team has finished at 1,200 when it's such a strength, so that's a beefy ranged hero, man.
Yeah, and he does actually level up, or he normally does go the Astrolabe as well. Bottom lane, though, Magnus is coming down here again, and which I actually love this sort of strategy from Tree. I mean, one thing that I was talking to Insanity again is that Tree, they don't really have the sort of strategy or the sort of theoretical sort of knowledge and information to really sort of take games out. They've got great individual skill, but their sort of draft or their sort of laning phase is the thing that is sort of keeping them from being the #1 team in Holland. But at the moment, they know exactly what they have to do. They're actually locking down Pebbles, and like I said before, he is the key hero for Zinc right now. And look at his GPM, only 240 GPM right now. He's nowhere near his Portal Key. And that is the key item that Zinc needs to sort of start snowballing into this game. They're actually 4,000 gold behind. And before that Portal Key on Pebbles, they're not going to be any better off, honestly, because like I said, Tree, they've really sort of learned from their initial mistakes from the Winners Bracket Final, and they're implementing their own strategy and really shutting down Zinc at the same time. And for Zinc, I mean, there's not much they can do other than try and sort of get a few kills here and there and sort of keep jungling with Pebbles, because they've got a Magnus and sort of Lord Sapphirus down here. Lord Sapphirus, an incredible laner, now 400 GPM. Pebbles can't lane down here without dying, let alone farm at all. So he's been sort of forced to jungle, and as a result, his GPM is so low. So I mean, it just goes back to how well Tree are actually laning and starting this game off.
Yeah, so Force even getting an Energizer here earlier on. That's going to be delivered as soon as the courier gets back to base and brings it out. He's sitting on the major totem, but again, I believe he just bought the Energizer, and yeah, he's sitting on that gold still. So that's going to be sent out to him. And so really, Lord Force, as far as the makeup of the hero, he's not going to be a carry for you by any means. He's not going to be a big damage dealer later on, but he's just going to be a damn annoyance in team fights especially. Again, he's just constantly in your face, spamming that life depth. The cooldown of it's so short. It's 5 seconds at level 4. He's able to use that constantly for the movement slow as well as some burst damage. The more Satisima is, of course, a very powerful tool in the sense of reduced healing. And then, as we talked about earlier, the ultimate will just flat out not allow you to heal, as well as doing damage to you over time. And it's superior magic. I thought it might have been true, but no, it's Aura's the true damage portion there. Anyways, point being, he's a great asset to have for your team, and he's going to build that supportish tank style, which makes sense. Bottom lane, though, it's going to be pushed pretty heavily right here. Now, you do see the Legion side. Zinc not going to give it up for free. In fact, Mass TPs, and here we go. Soul Stealer's not here. And Zinc knows this, of course. Lord Force, he's going to take the brunt initially. Midas, they're on the run with the Energizer. So very good job at kind of splitting things up, making them choose one way or the other. Glacius is going to be picked off in the process. Magnus maybe hanging around a little bit too long, but guess what? Soul Stealer's here, and he's looking for kills. The second demon and it hits, but it's not enough for the kill. on a Puppet Master. Just enough life to stay alive, and now all of a sudden Soul Stealer, he's the one in trouble. Here goes the Eruption, though, and the flick from Midas as well. Eruption goes off, doing some decent damage. Ophelia's touch comes out. Lord Self-Forest still alive, though. Soul Stealer not alive for long. He does go down, but at what cost here? They're trying to fight back and forth. Drunken Master out of mana himself. He kind of has to run away. Ophelia is going to be picked off in the end, and it looks like Willowkeeper's coming out on top. In fact, Puppet Master also going to fall when it's all said and done, as he gets picked off at the last second. So, yeah, you see get away on a Drunken. In fact, Drunken's still hanging around.
He should be fine, yeah.
He's gonna be fine,
they have no catch potential, but yeah, we talked about Lord Southforest, what he offers, and this is perfect kind of team fights for Lord Southforest. He has great sustainability, and he has great magic damage if those sustained team fights can happen. And that team fight lasted, 10, 15, 20 seconds?
Yeah. And
that was just perfect for Tree. Okay, they did lose battles off, but they got the tier 1 tower, and they got the more favourable hero kills. So, again, Tree coming out ahead. And another thing that actually Insane sort of talks to me about Tree is that, it's all about momentum. He sort of talks about it in the other previous cast as well. It's all about momentum. Who has control of the game? And at the moment, Tree are dictating this game right now. Each play, each sort of gank is all coming from Tree. Zinc are playing reactive Hon at the moment, and as a result, I mean, they're the reason why they're so far behind. But okay, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Obviously, Tree did have like a 7,000 or 8,000 gold lead in the last winners bracket final, and they did not capitalize on it. But still, the plays what I'm seeing here just seems, great play after great play from Tree, and as a result, they deserve to be ahead.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If we're saying it, that they're definitely thinking it as well. They know what happened yesterday, and so keeping that in mind, don't go too crazy here. Don't think you have a guaranteed victory, especially against the likes of Zinc Esports. So getting the job done, securing the victory, that's what the best teams and the top teams do. So they're going to group up as 5 here, push the middle lane against Soulstone. He's got that nose done, plenty of regen to work with. He's able to use those demon hands pretty freely here. You see Puppet Master kind of poking in, but Lord Southforest boxing him out right there to an extent. And going to be on those front lines as you would expect, but a good job of creep clearing by Zinc. And actually, in the meantime, you have Drunken Master. He is pushing that top tower. In fact, TP support is going to come in, though. And I think Tree's just going to give up on that middle tower push attempt. As Soulstar goes up there. Double stack Ancients also going to be stolen in the process. So good swing of resources there. More in favor of Willowkeeper.
Yeah, and okay, Tree didn't take the tier 2, but they did a lot of damage, and they at least forced the reaction coming out from Zinc. Again, obviously they took the double stack Ancients, and they're still putting the pressure on. And like I said, Pebbles is still far away from his portal key. He's only 260 GPM at the moment, only 1,000 gold. Actually, Drunken Master might be in a little bit of trouble. No, he should be fine in the end. Minus is invisible here. But yeah, going back to Pebbles, it's that when he gets the portal key, that's where Zinc's like, oh, the invisible Lord Midas, you are dead, my friend.
Here comes Lord Southforest, though. They're looking for a turn. Maybe not, actually. Predictable Mountain comes out. It's going to be stopped, though. Look, Midas will survive. And in fact, turn kills are going to happen. Eruption goes out. Puppet Master dead. Rhapsody goes off to the side. Drunken Master with that ultimate of his is up. Looking to make something happen at least, but it's not going to. Pebbles, though, finds a toy in Magnus. But Magnus stunts back in. The follow from Midas and everyone else. And Pebbles will fall. Drunken Master also goes down. The team support is on top right here for Willowkeeper, and they're just going to continue rolling over Zinc. This could be a quick victory here.
I mean, and like I said, Breg, I said it before and I'll say it again, Tree, when they are playing at their best, they are unbeatable. They are arguably the best team at home when they're playing and when they're clicking. And Breaky, they are clicking right now. Look at the golden experience lead. 13,000 gold, and it's only 16 minutes in. Congo's back up, and it looks like they're going to take a round 2 of it. And this is Zinc Esports, the best team in Hon at the moment, and they're actually getting dominated right now. This is a little bit humiliating here for Zinc. And obviously, the game is still not over. It's still anyone's game at the moment, but still, Pebbles shut down. As I said again, the key hero. He's had no impact in this game. 0-3 in 2, no portal key, and he's still far away from it. And Tree, they're going from strength to strength. Going to take out the second Congo now. And Zinc, they're in a very, very bad situation here in Game 1 of the Grand Finals.
I'll say this, though. I mean, obviously, we still got game left, so, who knows what's going to ultimately happen, but it does look like Willowkeeper is in a very good spot to secure this victory, But kind of comparing, this is like a game of Uno to me, even though it's a pretty popular game amongst the world. And I see it as a Tree, they've been losing, or Zinc's been on a streak here, playing the same color cards, skipping turns of Tree, whatever. Willowkeeper played the +4 wild card, +4 draw wild card, and they catch Drunken Master here. Yeah, Drunken Master, he's going to try to get away. Stagger, he has the Energizer. He is fast, man. Is he fast enough? It looks like it, actually. Miles just out of range. They still want to go. Soulstealer has the cutoff, but he doesn't have a stun, of course, so I think Drunken's going to be fine.
So what were you going to say?
But anyways, they have the +4. They played their +4 wild card here. Draw 4, wild card, screwing over Zinc, basically. My question is, what else do they left in what else do they have left in their hand? Because clearly, again, they practiced this. They had this idea from the level 1 Concord to just the synergy of this lineup and how it's going to play against Zinc's more team up and push kind of lineup for earlier on fights. How will that develop into the next game, though, is my big question. Cause
yeah. Okay.
I know that you just got finished saying that they're playing on the ball right now. They're playing on top. They're almost like they're making Zinc embarrassed, but. If I'm Zinc, I would be thinking the same logic of, you know what, they caught us off guard. They did something crazy here. We weren't expecting it. Congrats to them. We'll see how that changes, though, and teams are going to have to think on the fly here, basically.
Yeah. No, I think I definitely agree with you to some extent, though. Obviously, that the Congo kill was definitely a massive factor in the game. Was it all the factors? I wouldn't think so. All the team decisions here from Tree have been absolutely perfect from where they've been laning, from what the kind of ganks they've been actually doing, and that's nothing to do with Congo. That's obviously just down to how well the Tree are playing. Okay, obviously they have got this strategy in mind, and it is working. What else do they have up their sleeve? But still, the one thing is for clear. Their sort of team decisions and their sort of leadership is clicking right now. And regardless of what kind of draft or what kind of strategy you're implementing, team decisions and that sort of clicking of sort of coordination and synergy within the team is still the most important factor. And at the same time, this was a kind of a signature or like a trick sort of draft. And at the same time, Tree and Fusion in particular has many and multiple trick sleeves and trick sort of drafts to implement here. Actually, top lane Driver Master's most likely going to be falling actually here.
Well, they're going to chase him. They weren't able to catch him last time. This time they do. Magnus does it, the stun. You see Pebbles. He was hanging around, but he's like, I'm not going to hang around much longer. He TP's out. You see the more Seratisima coming out. Looks like all a nuke from now on from Rolling South Forest. And it will hit in the end to get the kill. Yeah, he tried to juke and jive the best he could, but KZU unable to ultimately get away right there. So the chase is successful. Boxy getting credit right there. He's now 3-1-7. I mean, look at that, by the way. Lord South Forest, 460 gold per minute. So that's one of those things. Again, he's kind of just a tanky mess kind of hero, but he actually, is that a freaking Spell Sunder? That is the first Spell Sunder we've ever seen.
And it works very, very well, particularly on Lord South Forest, obviously, because it offers that extra sort of magical damage, and they have quite a few spells that are burst, particularly the Morsortisima. Only 4 seconds cooldown, and he can sort of keep sort of spamming it and make sure he's taking use of the spell sunder. But yeah, going back to the initial sort of strategy of Fusion, they have a lot of sort of trick strategy. They have a lot of trick drafts, and okay, this is only game 1, but I can assure you, Fusion has a lot more sort of than just this one strategy and one draft in mind. And actually, Tree are going to look here, sort of keep on looking at to try and go for racks. One key important pick up though is Pebbles does have his portal key, so maybe this is enough to see Zinc have some kind of a comeback in this game.
Legion team, Zinc does get a tower kill middle lane. It's kind of a positive and a horrible situation right here. So, but they are going to, again, they have to hold it. They're going to do their best right here. Will they be able to? See many situations like this. Zinc is at the top of the list in terms of defending their base. They know how to, if anyone right now on the scene. But they are in a pretty dangerous spot here. 14,000 gold deficit and 12,000 experience deficit. So, see a lot of poke damage. Now, Willowkeeper not overcommitting. They're not getting too crazy here. Magnus,
I don't think they should. I don't think they should commit. I don't think they should commit to this though. They're like Solstice doesn't have this strong in head. They've got this they've got this far so far. They don't need to sort of risk it. And we talked about how good Zinc are actually defending their base. They don't need to rush this. They can wait for the next Congo. They're so far ahead. They've got map control, but it looks like going in.
There we go. Magnus stuns it. Puppet Master. Look at the burst. Holy crap! The Soul Burst even coming out on top of that. And Drunken Master also gonna follow suit right there. Puppet Master does buy back. Drunken survived a little bit longer than I thought, but he does go down in the long run. Magnus is dead, by the way. Lord South Forest though, he is still standing plenty strong. Undying is up, and down goes Pebbles right there. And right now, Lord South Forest is going to fall shortly after, though. Hattrick coming out for Balthazar in the meantime. Midas goes down. KZU doing plenty right here, so maybe the overcommitment is real for Willowkeeper. In fact, they're also going to get picked off. Well, there you go. Zinc the best data and show why once again right there. It did take 3 buybacks, but they ultimately do hold them off, and the tower even stays alive.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing I was worried about, because I said, obviously, they didn't need to make this play, and like I said, they didn't actually need to make it. They could have easily just sort of starved Zinc, kept them in their base. All outer towers are down. They've still got the, the sort of map control because they've got all their tier 2s up, and obviously they have the golden experience lead. They didn't need to make that play. At the same time, of course, they did obviously force 3 buybacks from all of the cores here from Zinc, but at the same time that did actually give the Astrolabe on Ophelia, the Energizer I think was already picked up and Drunken, but at least he got maybe his Mighty Blade, and so a few items because of that team fight that was won from Zinc. It did give enough sort of core items and that are key to sort of Zinc's revival here into game 1. So, you know, a questionable play out from Tree, but the fact of the matter is they're still so far ahead. 12,000 gold, 10,000 experience. They've still got map control, and Kong was most likely going to come up here in the next couple of minutes as well.
Yeah.
So.
See Souls to the resurrection right there. He actually buys a quick blend. I mean, he's got the portal key, shrunken in Nullstone. He's going to be going for Firebrand, maybe into Geometer Spin here at this point. So, yeah, he's still farming like a boss, to say the least. Midas actually picking up a Glowstone here. I wonder if he's going to be picking up the Icon. He's got the Ring of Sorcery, so it probably would make sense with that.
I don't think so, though, because Icon is good, particularly on Midas, but obviously he needs a lot of kills on that, and this game is not involved in a lot of hero ganking and sort of hero kills. They've obviously got all map control, all tier 2 towers are down, so there's not going to be too much ganking on the side of Tree unless they get like one big pick-off, and if they do get one big pick-off, the extra charges from Icon isn't going to be the big factor. It's that they can actually push off of racks onto racks because of that pick-off. So, I mean, it might be an Icon, but I just don't think it's that big of a pick-up in this game. I think it's good on Midas, but not in this game, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, so you don't think you're just making a point that he's not gonna, or he shouldn't, or why you?
I don't think he should. I mean, yeah, the item's fine. The item is good, and particularly on Midas, it's good. But in this sort of game, he needs obviously a lot of charges, and that's where you need a lot of kills. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of kills in terms of ganks from Tree. Obviously, it's kind of good in the sense that if they get take a team fight, they get a few kills here. Obviously, the burst sort of regen that it provides is quite good. But I think that there's a few items that could be picked up, maybe like the sheep stick or even like the hellflower, for example. Could be picked up instead. Even a puzzle box. I mean, they sort of lack a little bit of sort of pushing potential, and the puzzle box could definitely have actually awarded that from Midas. And obviously, the team fight potential from puzzle box as well is very, very strong. So maybe the puzzle box would be a little bit better, but we are going to see most likely an Icon instead. Unless it's going to be a staff, but no, he doesn't have a staff effect.
Well, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, I double checked that too. I was like, does he have a staff? No, he doesn't have a staff. So yeah, probably Icon in the end. I'm going to go Frost of Skull. Really wants to stretch out there, but eventually.
Yeah.
But Midas, or not Midas, but Lord Forest, he just picks up a Soul's Bulwark, so again, kind of continuing that utility tank build. Okay, what was that about? PI Resurgence just went to Prime Icarus. All right, there you go. Look at that update there from.
Wow, PI won against Mega Creeps. What the hell? That's insane.
Jeez. Oh, wait, what?
That's insane.
They won against Mega Creeps? Oh my God.
I've never seen that ever.
I'm going to have to check that out maybe in a replay, at least the very end of that game.
Top lane, Drunken Master.
Yeah, top lane, Drunken is going to be caught right here. And where did Drunken go? Well,
that's really big kill. Drunken Master doesn't have a buyback. This could be Rax, actually.
He does not, yeah. They're going to push into the top lane, no doubt right here, because again, in their mind, if anything, they just want to force a buyback, but he doesn't know. Okay, he does now. So it just had to come up. Yeah, I hate when that happens. It's like, I was going to say, he should have, I feel like he could have it close, and sure enough.
That's going to be his final buyback, though.
But, yeah, that's going to put him near 0 gold, and, arguably worth it, but as you said, it would be his final buyback. And here we go. He's going to have to definitely do it now. Puppet Master big, protect him out at the last second. It saves Puppet Master for now. How much return can they do? Silsuna jumps in. Down goes Puppet Master in the long run. He does have his second buyback as well. He is going to use it. They know they're all in right here. They need to hold this off, or the game's over anyways. So they're going for it. Look at Tree, though. They're not overcommitting. They're going to focus the melee racks. We've seen mistakes like that before. They've learned, though. They're going to stay on the melee racks. Lord's Up Force being jumped. He's a tank, though. Speaking of tank, holy crap, he stays alive. And he helps with a turn. Down goes Puppet again. And I wouldn't be surprised if Zinc calls out those GGs. They try. They have no buybacks now, though, on Puppet Master, Drunken, or Pebbles. Pebbles buys back, so they're still trying. They still have hope, damn it. They want to give it a chance. Drunken goes down. A hat trick for Balchazar. They're just feeding the stats at this point. He's going for the quad kill. He's not going to get it just yet. Instead, he'll just finish off what they came for in the melee racks in the end. So it looks like Zinc, again, may still try to hold on a little bit longer. But Willowkeeper, no doubt, they just about have that coffin shut as far as the nail. It's in there. They just need to hammer it home here.
Exactly, but I mean, I have to say, the initiation from Mickey was absolutely perfect. The team fight from Zinc couldn't have gone any better. Mickey actually landed a 4-man stalagmite stun on top of a chuck, and honestly, I think it was a little bit of an overextension from Flensmeister. He actually tried to get Magnus. I think it might have been actually Lord Forest with the grip, and then actually as a result, Magnus got a 2-man stun, and then the initiation from Tree started kicking. And as a result, Tree absolutely wiped the floor with Zinc in terms of the team fight. No more buybacks for any of the cores. So the next team fight, it has to be GG unless Zinc can pull some kind of miracle out here in game 1.
Yeah, I really wonder if Zinc's mindset has a lot to do with yesterday. What happened? I mean, they were down by a lot. I mean, so many things are different than that game, and as Sanio pointed out, as we talked about a lot too. I mean, as a player, you don't have access to all these stats like we do. So, for all they know, I mean, they might feel like they're not as down as they are. But I mean, having no buybacks on 3 of your prime heroes, it's not like a support here. I mean, Puppet Master, Trunken, and Puppets all having no buybacks. I mean, it's sure, you know, playing it out, at least seeing what you can make happen is fine. That's by all means their decision, but it's a long series ahead of us. I mean, if Willowkeeper wins this, and it looks like they are, there's at least 2 more games, possibly 3 more, if it plays out to the final game. So there is that.
I agree.
It's like, do you just say, okay, screw it, let's move on? I mean, so.
No, I agree. I mean, in terms of just personal experience, whenever I was the captain of Instant Reflex, if we were getting sort of this destroyed in the game, and it was like a best of 3 or even a best of 5, which it is in this case, I would just sack the game and go for game 2, because I think nothing's more demoralising when you lose a game, but when you lose a game this much, like they've got no buybacks, and it's only 27 minutes into the game, but they're going to try and defend this Congo though.
There we go. This is the last stand indeed. They try for it. Drunken Master, Trunken ends up. Predictability off to the side, saving Pebbles initially. So first goes off. Rhapsody still channeling. Finally going to be stopped right there. I believe it ran its course, but down goes Rhapsody in the process, and now the Legion team. Yeah, again, it's expected. Too much firepower on the side of Willowkeeper. There we go. GG's being called. Concevo comes out. They gave it an A+ effort there, especially in the end, but it wasn't to be. So Willowkeeper, they take the first game, and again, as I like to say, in a sense, they reset the series here, making a straight-up best out of 3 is the best way to look at it. But really, in the best out of 5, they tied up at 1 game apiece here. Moving on to the next one, and you talk all about momentum. They most certainly have that now once again. Going into the next game. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe the last cycle started this way as well, where Willowkeeper actually won the first game, and then Zinc came back to win the second too. So you keep that in mind as well. But Willowkeeper, they got to be feeling very good after that one.
Yeah, I mean, and also, like, this game wasn't we just about killed, we just about beat Zinc, it was a close game, but no, Tree absolutely dominated from start to finish. They were on the ball, they were pushing, they were just at Zinc's throat. They wanted to just absolutely dominate him, and as they did. So in that sense, the motivation, the morale there for Tree must be high, because, I mean, they just beat the top team in Hon, and arguably they won in the first 15 minutes. Like, after that, it just took a time before they eventually